Whether it's smoked, stuffed, or slathered in sauce, a pork loin roast is one of my favorite things to cook up on the grill, which is why today I want to show you how to make a delicious herb crusted pork loin using the slow and sear and Kettle grill. Coming up. Hey, welcome back to Adrenaline Barbecue. I'm Jabin Postal, and today at the grill, I want to show you how to make the most incredible herb crusted pork loin using the slow and sear. And just like always, I'm going to put all the show notes for you in the description box below, so make sure to click down there to see everything that you need so that you can make this at home for yourself. So the pork loin roast is one of my favorite cuts of pork because you can do so much with it. You can smoke it low and slow, or you can dress it up for those nights when you have guests over. And when you do it right, it's guaranteed to come out moist and tender every single time. And so when you're choosing your pork loin, I recommend getting the whole loin because you can do so much with it. You can chop it up into a roast, you can make your own chops, and you can cube it. You can do whatever you want for whatever meal you're going to be planning to cook. Okay, so to get our pork loin prepared, the first thing that we're going to do is do a dry brine on our loin. And so we've already done this. We did this 2 days ago. We did a dry brine, and we used a half of a teaspoon of kosher salt for every pound of meat. So this is just under 4 pounds. So we used about 2 teaspoons of kosher salt for this dry brine. And then we wrapped it up and put it into the fridge and let it sit there for 2 days. So to make our herb crust, what we're gonna need is a bunch of rosemary, some thyme, some basil, and then we're gonna be using 5 cloves of garlic. And if you are gonna be using some dried herbs, make sure that you just cut that in half. And so we're gonna take our rosemary and we're just gonna take all the leaves off of the stems. And so for this recipe, we're gonna be needing about 2 tablespoons of each of our herbs. So once your rosemary is all chopped up, you're just gonna place it into your bowl. Next, we're gonna do the same thing with our thyme. Next, we're gonna move along to our basil. All right, so once that's chopped, place it into your bowl and move along to your garlic. Okay, so we have our rosemary, our thyme, our basil, and our garlic all together into the bowl. And we're gonna take some cooking oil and we're gonna place about a tablespoon, maybe up to 2 tablespoons of oil into this mixture. And what we're looking to create is a paste that we can use to rub onto the outside of our pork loin roast. So now that we have our herb mixture all together, it's now time to get it onto the outside of our pork loin. And so what we're gonna do is take some of this mixture we've made up, and we're gonna rub it all around to all the sides of this loin. You're gonna flip it over and do the back side as well. It's important to do all sides because we will be flipping this loin halfway through the cook. So get it all on there. We want as much of these herbs on there as we possibly can. So the next thing that we're gonna do is take a little bit of kosher salt and place it on the outside of our roast. And we need to be mindful that we already did do a dry brine on this, and so we don't want to use a whole lot. This is more just to add some flavor and seasoning to the herbs that we just put on. All right, so we got the salt on, and then we're gonna take some fresh cracked pepper and place that onto the outside as well. Okay, so that's the last thing that we need to do to get our herb crusted pork loin all prepped. And the next thing we're gonna do is get our kettle set up with the slow and sear for cooking at 325 degrees. So what I've done to set up the grill with the slow and sear is I went ahead and placed about 40 unlit briquettes into the slow and sear, and then I'm gonna place another 40 or so briquettes of hot coals on top. And what this is gonna allow us to do is reach that higher temperature and maintain it for a longer period of time. All right, so I placed our hot coals into the slow and sear, and our grill is set up for cooking at 325 degrees. We're using the slow and sear with the easy spin, as well as the drip and griddle down below to catch any juices that might fall. And so what we're gonna do at this point is we're gonna take our pork loin and we're gonna place it onto the grill. And then once we have that on, we're gonna take our digital thermometer and place that into the center of the loin. Once that's all on the grill, we're gonna take some of our hardwood. We're using some apple wood today, and we're gonna place that directly onto the hot coals. We're gonna close the lid and begin cooking for about an hour and a half. We're now at the halfway mark of this cook, and we're gonna open up the grill and give this pork loin a flip, and also just take a look and see what it looks like. So you can see that the outside is browning quite nicely, and the smell from those herbs and garlic are already creating a really nice aroma. So let's go ahead and flip this pork loin over. And so once you have the pork loin flipped, you're gonna close the lid and continue cooking until the internal temperature reaches 140 degrees. Our herb crusted pork loin has now been cooking for an hour and a half, and our internal temperature has reached 140. And so we're gonna go in and just confirm that with our probe here. And that's reading right on. So now we're gonna get this pork loin off the grill and onto the cutting board, where we're gonna let it rest up to about 145 under some aluminum foil. All right, so I can't wait any longer. This pork loin has been sitting here for about 10 minutes resting, and I just checked the internal temperature and it's up to about 146. And so we're gonna open it up and slice into it. Oh man, look at that. Wow, this looks incredible. You can see how much juice is just coming out of the inside of this. It's literally dripping onto the cutting board. Look at that. Oh my goodness. You can see that there is a nice smoke ring as well with this loin. And so let's take our knife and give a cut here. And let's taste this guy. Wow. Oh man, I just love this herb and garlic. Those flavors, they just come together so nicely with the pork loin and that hint of smoke that we put on. Oh, this is delicious. So that's how you make that delicious herb crusted pork loin. Make sure to give it a try because I know you're gonna love it. Also, if you like what we're doing on this channel, hit that subscribe button as well as leave a comment down below. I'm Jabin with Adrenaline Barbecue Company, where we didn't invent the kettle, we perfected it. See you next time.